Hello, I'm Natalie Becker. Welcome to It's Africa's Time. Today we travel in Mozambique, South Africa and Ethiopia to see how investments by companies large and small can have significant impact on local job creation and the implementation of environmentally sound practices. But first, Gerd Trogeman for the UNDP and Dr. Weber Buru of the Tony Elimela Foundation will give us their insights for Africa's sustainable growth and development.
Our current way of doing business is very often unsustainable. It doesn't bring the social and political benefits, but it also has disastrous effects on the environment. So turning that around and finding a way of overcoming inequality through more inclusive approaches, yet at the same time more sustainable long-term thinking, is what actually can make the difference and bring about the type of growth that can bring benefits to the population at large and not to select groups. It has become a truly global affair to look at development, and the days are over in which you could say that your neighbor's problems are your neighbor's problems. Today, their problems are your problem at the same time, so you better get involved and you better help tackle it.
There's a lot of simultaneous conversations going on. There's inclusive markets, there's impact investing, there's shared value. There's a lot of conversations around the post-MDG, post-2015 MDGs and how the private sector can be part of that. Our founder, Mr. Tony Elimela, has a concept called Afrocapitalism, which is another version of this, which is, again, talking about how the private sector can engage to create both social and economic wealth. But the reality is that all of these conversations ultimately are looking at the same, focusing on the same objective, and that is that we need to rethink how global capital does more than just create economic wealth, but also creates social wealth. We need to find the right sorts of incentives in a positive way, not a negative one, but in a positive way, to get the private sector, the largest corporations in the world, to start thinking about business in an inclusive way. And that's actually the only way that we can make a difference. Otherwise, it will remain small, niche, and it won't have the impact that we need. And I actually think that in Africa, there's a lot of talk about leapfrogging, right? And we've leapfrogged in technology with mobile telecommunications, mobile banking, things like that. But I actually think Africa has an opportunity to leapfrog the capitalist system and to create actually a more socially inclusive capitalist system that becomes the fundamental basis of how Africa develops.
In northern Mozambique, we meet with Lozane Farms, a local seed supplier working together with government and US aid to promote sustainable livelihoods, food security, and environmentally responsible farming in the region.
Bom, o distrito produz basicamente cereal que
Our local district is well known for cereal farming. Maize is one of the main crops, covering up to 30% of the total district production. But however, there are other crops that are being produced. For example, cowpeas, sugar beans, and soybean, which is fast becoming a cash crop as of recent years. More than 80% of the production is done by the small-scale farmers. We see that as an opportunity for growth in the agricultural sector.
Lozane Farms was registered in 2007. Currently, we have got 2 farms, one small farm in Maputo. The second farm is the one where we are at the moment in Zambezia province. This farm has got 500 hectares in total. However, of the 500 hectares, we've got plus minus 200 hectares arable. We're producing soya seed, maize seed, cowpea seed, sorghum seed, and pigeon pea seed. Now, off the season, we do horticulture production. We're producing cabbages, tomatoes, and green pepper.
Pro-Savannah is a triangular development program between the Mozambican Ministry of Agriculture, the Brazilian Cooperation Agency, and the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. Its objective is to aid agricultural and rural development of areas along the Nacala corridor, which runs from the port of Nacala to landlocked Malawi. In its initial phase, the fund will benefit 5 companies, whose investments will impact directly on access to new markets and technologies for approximately 2,000 small producers.
Neste momento, apenas nós temos.
At this experimental phase, we have one company in the district, which is Lausanne Farms, that has benefited alone from the project. Lausanne Farms is working with plus minus 425 farmers in the district that are indirectly benefiting from the same financial scheme.
In the country, commercial loans, commercial finance interest per year is between 23 to 26%. Now, the ProSavada project is identifying initiatives in remote areas and giving financial credit at 10% per annum. I would describe small-scale farmers as small business units. Like any other business unit, people go into business to grow, coupled with the fact that it's difficult for these small business units, which is the biggest network in agriculture in the country, to access finance. They face the lack of know-how as a huge challenge for their growth. Currently, there is a huge lack of improved seed. Our main objective is to be a supplier of quality seed throughout the country. I think the moment that the farmers realize that they can make money from a crop, the tendency is to increase their areas so that they can sell more. And that's happening.
Eu produzo a soja.
I produce soybean, sugar beans, and maize. I got the seed from Lausanne Farms on credit basis. As an association, we agreed on the figure that they're going to pay, and they will announce a day that they will come collect the production. And I have witnessed some growth. I did manage to construct my house, and I also have a bank account. I also have managed to buy animals like goats, pig, and chicken. I intend to increase the area that I'm working on so that I can get more use than I'm getting now.
Maior.
The farmers around this farm were used to using recycled seed. They would keep their own and use it as seed, and their yields were very low. They have now realized that there is a need to use improved seed. Whatever we're producing, and we give it out to farmers, we make sure that it is produced to the standard that we're looking for, because their market is the farm. We buy their produce. This is a win-win situation. This is a commercial relationship. We produce seed, we make money from the seed. However, we're giving it to the local people at a facility, and we give them technical assistance. We have had advice from Lausanne Farms to legalize our association. They introduced the soybean as a crop, and the farmers in our association are happy. I earn a lot of money, which I use to buy the family needs. You name them, food, clothes, and the rest of the domestic needs. I'm also in the process of building the second house. We've been working with 12 associations. We have a total of 425 farmers working with us. And I'm pleased to say that out of these farmers, from this year, we have 11 farmers that are interested to grow, that are doubling their areas. They're now going to be doing seed production with us under our technical supervision. They are now looking at 7 hectares, 10 hectares. We have one that has got plus minus 15 hectares. The advantage of them doing that is that they're going to earn more money than they do when they're producing grain. But the advantage to us is that we're going to increase our seed volumes as well.
Regarding food security, we have to say that the district is self-sufficient. There is a lot of production going on. Probably the challenge that we have now is how do we convert the production into nutrition for the small-scale farmers and the population in the district.
In the northern part of the country, the horticultural products that are sold in the supermarkets, they are coming from outside the country, mostly from South Africa and Malawi. We therefore realized that there was an opportunity. We did a pilot project during the last season the people that are working with us, we're encouraging to do the production of the same crops we buy again from them and take it to the market. We want to create yet another parallel market. Now, the idea is to get farmers in their production areas to be processing soybeans in different products. The demand for the soya that they are growing is going to grow because it's going to be consumed locally. We will get small manual solar-powered processing machines that we're going to distribute on credit basis to the farmer groups that we have.
After 25 years of assistance to the Mozambican agricultural and private sectors, North American agency USAID launched AgriFuturo, which works at strengthening agricultural value chains. AgriFuturo is the main development partner for the Lausanne Farm soya processing project.
The programs that were being supported before were programs that were related to food security. With new challenges of the present millennium, USAID is focused on programs that look at the markets through value-added initiatives in production. One of the objectives is to increase the income of the producers and the rural families. Lausanne Farms is a company that, according to USAID classification, they refer it as a cluster. A company that provides services regarding to input supplies, as well as purchase of production from the smallholder farmers. USAID is looking at strengthening the relationship with Lausanne Farms, also in the establishment of a seed processing plant to allow Lausanne Farms to supply improved soybean seeds and other crop varieties in the region.
We're going to have our development partners like AgriFuturo, ITA, involved in the training of those farmer groups on the processing. The first one is soya milk, second one, soya cooking oil, and the third one, the soya meal for making porridge. This is where we want to have our development partners coming in and do a lot of promotion, because it's something that can be affordable at rural level, and it substitutes very well the normal porridges, and it's very rich in protein. We believe by processing the soybean into different soya products, in as much as we're increasing money to the farmers, we're also solving nutrition problems.
Mozambique has been underexplored as far as agriculture is concerned. The tropical climates and the fertile soils that we have in Mozambique, coupled with the fact that it has got a very large extension of the sea and many ports that can be used, puts it in a better position to be the potential big producer of food in Southern Africa.
Welcome back. Next, we visit Cape Town and Addis Ababa to learn about the responsible business initiatives of the Carlson Residor Hotel Group, which include providing jobs and training to vulnerable youth and an extensive employee-driven commitment to greener hotels. But first, we meet with the UNDP's Thomas Salez to talk about the hospitality industry and its role in creating jobs in Africa.
There is this tendency of looking at Africa just as a destination where the resources are. If you really have to think about what the local communities can provide in terms of service, solutions, experience, you will be able to reduce your costs, will be able to introduce some innovative taste solutions that will help you. The tourism and travel industry is actually one that provides opportunities for the local producers, for the local transporters. They are the providers of the food, the service. So it's really one of those which should generate very powerful sectors for inclusive business. You know, alongside agriculture, food, retailing, the travel and tourism is one of the most promising for inclusive business. They will create income opportunities, they'll create jobs, and in doing so, they will benefit the local communities.
The Carlson Residor Hotel Group operates more than 1,000 hotels in 100 countries and is now the fastest developing group for top hotels in sub-Saharan Africa, where 14 hotels are in operation and 19 are soon to be added to its portfolio. tourism provides a significant number of jobs at various levels and develops skills that can be used across a variety of industry sectors. According to a report by the World Tourism and Travel Council, the industry will soon represent 1 in every 10 jobs worldwide.
In many locations in Africa, we are the first international hotel company to arrive. We focus on inclusive business through employment and people development.
Where we try to get involved in a very early stage to bring in our best practices, which we have learned from the hundreds of hotels which we have opened in the past. I think foremost it is the creation of jobs. Like I said, we have about 5,000 people working for us. And secondly, it is really the training, the development of our people.
With over 90 million people, Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa, with over half its population between the ages of 15 and 24 years old. These youth are eager to enter the job market, but employment opportunities are often in short supply. Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, is also known as the political capital of Africa. It is the host city for the African Union and recently also the United Nations Development Programme. Consequently, business travel in the city is thriving.
I have 1 brother and 3 sisters. My father is dead 12 years ago, and only support my brother for my family. When I graduate grade 12 and I didn't pass the exam, the ECLS, and I'm so confused because I'm poor, so I can't learn any school.
The Youth Career Initiative is a 6-month education program for disadvantaged young people. It provides them with work and life skills and prepares them for further education or a job. Each student receives over 750 hours of on-the-job learning and classroom training. The YCI program was defined by the hospitality industry and it runs in 11 countries.
The Radisson Blu Hotel Addis Ababa currently has over 300 staff, of which 98% are Ethiopians. We coordinated with the SOS Children's Village in Ethiopia, who have worked with YCI for many years. The Children's Village proposed 18 suitable candidates, from which we chose 6.
The training I received, the food and beverage, housekeeping, front office, banquet. I know many skills like how to make different kinds of food and how to communicate with the others, and also how to teamwork, timekeeping, and it's so nice for me because it's challenging for me.
The trainees are assigned to different departments within the hotel for their practical training, and they're rotated regularly between departments throughout the 6 months.
Currently, we have given opportunities for 2 of the 6 trainees to be employed in our team. We invested on them. All the family members of Radisson Blu Hotel enjoyed this, and I'm very happy. And now they are doing a very good job. And it has also a good message for all the staffs, even for the society, for the medias. We have been evaluating on a continuous basis. I am sure they are fit, all of them, to get employed.
Before, I haven't any choice and I didn't feel good. And now I hope I'm professional because I'm so changed. I like all departments, but I choose the kitchen. I like create new recipe always, so I hope I am the main chef.
When taking into account the high youth unemployment, the increasing supply of hotels, and the shortage of trained Ethiopian hoteliers, the hospitality in Ethiopia in general gains excellence and badly needed hospitality professionals, whilst the individual has a great opportunity to start out upon a very rewarding career.
On average, 73% of graduates get a job upon graduation and 12% pursue further education. With Carlson Residor as one of its main partners, the YCI is expanding rapidly to many additional countries. In collaboration with the South African government, the Park Inn by Radisson Hotel on Cape Town's foreshore has launched 2 programs with similar objectives. 3 trainees of the network's learnership, which started 2 years ago, now have permanent contracts in the food and drink department. And the newly introduced Kath Seater is offering professional on-the-job training in the hotel to 20 local learners.
And we've got a very young team, especially the executive team. They're very young. And I think that brings across then a vibrant, friendly atmosphere within the hotel as well for the guests and, of course, for all the staff members alike.
I don't think I could have been anywhere without the Cat Seater program. It's not all that easy to get a job once you have a qualification without the experience. So this is just, again, a stepping stone for me.
So the Cat Seater program is a 12-month program, and the HODs are responsible for training the employees or the students on the job. They give them weekly tasks in the specific area, housekeeping, food and drink, or front office. And then once every quarter, we send a report back to Cat Seater on the progress.
We got the induction training, the yes I can training, and the responsible business, and how to be a host. They learned me to calm down with the nervousness and just to do my best that I can.
I was a wild guy, not respecting the law and things like that. Given the opportunity by Cat Seater, it showed me more how to respect myself more, how to respect the law and respect other people's cultural differences and their beliefs and how they live their life and interact with each other.
Responsible business in Carlson Residor is unique because it's driven by our people. All our staff know about responsible business, they carry it in their hearts and they practice it in their day-to-day jobs.
The Carlson Residor Hotel Group has been listed on Ethisphere's ranking of the world's most ethical companies for 4 consecutive years.
Many of our hotels are located in cities or in beautiful natural surroundings, and hotels can have quite an important environmental footprint. So it's important to reduce that environmental footprint, to care about air quality, mobility, and preserving the natural surroundings of the hotel, and not just for us as a business, but also for the guests who stay with us.
Think Planet aims to save 25% of the group's energy consumption in just 5 years. The Radisson Blu Waterfront Cape Town exceeded this in 1 year and saved 28% on their energy consumption in 2012.
There was a number of activities we put in place. Bigger activities like implementing a new cooling tower, but also smaller ones, like having an alarm on the walk-in fridges in the kitchen, changing about 1,600 light bulbs.
What do? We save from what we have. So for us, we save through heaters, because whenever guests want to sit outside, we turn them on, and as soon as they leave, we have to turn them off with the light.
We all think the same thing, we all want to achieve the same target, hence why we made such a big saving last year. We share the figures every month with the staff, what our consumption per room is, per area is basically. We also involve them in decision making with a committee where they can come with their ideas. They monitor the equipment and then they need to come to me and tell me, listen, this piece of equipment is consuming a bit more than what it should. We should look into it. So I give them that ownership and that responsibility. And by doing that, they become more proactive and they start learning the good habits, basically.
I heard about Think Planet when I got here. And it was actually exciting because they never tell you about these things. So going through Think Planet, we've learned that if you don't have a trolley, you take the staircase. If you don't use the room, put off the lights, put off the aircon. And for us, it saves more money for the company and it helps us a lot in saving even in personal life. Every month we had like a competition in the department. For instance, a 4th floor supervisor in store, Alan would come down and he'll come check how many lights did you put off, how many aircons did you put off. And at the end of the day, we went running for a goal.
Everybody goes through classroom training on responsible business. And also we feature videos, training videos on Think Planet to give little hints and tips for the staff how to get more efficient and energy saving. When Think Planet was launched initially, it was announced that the first prize for the hotel achieving the greatest saving will be a bicycle for every employee.
Thank you to all our contributors. Join us next month on Tuesday the 12th of November when we visit Nigeria to look at the inclusive business initiatives of two large multinationals. But for now, thanks for watching.